Hey everyone, welcome back to Film Ranks. Today I want to talk about Presence. This is a film, an indie film that has come out of recently. Not so recent, to be honest. It's been like a bit over a week. But I wanted to give my spoiler review of this film. It's an indie film. Some people are going to debate that this is horror or drama, and it's more like a drama if I'm being honest. Like, even I'm not like the best person to watch horror movies, but this isn't even really a horror movie technically. If you watch this, there's definitely worse things out there that's actually scary, like legitimately scary. So this just kind of like plays around with that, especially if you like seeing films like Paranormal Activity. You probably get some of those vibes, but not enough to really creep you out that much. Although there are creepy scenes within this film that are like a bit uncomfortable to like they're uncomfortable for sure. Like, let's just say how it is. This film is about an Asian family, and the father is a white man. No problem, biracial families exist. Except that the children are Asian, so he's not like the biological dad. As far as I can tell, white dad, Asian mom, Asian kids. This film deals with matters where it's like family drama for the most part. So that's why it's not really all that horror-like, because it's really like if you were to watch Casper, but Casper was invisible. So you don't really see him as a ghost as you would in the film, but just more like an invisible person that is visiting a house that they were murdered at. So yeah, not gonna go into too much detail, obviously. I know I'm spoiling things, but I like to keep my spoilers, I like to spoil things pretty vague, because at least with films that are potentially interesting for other people, I don't want to say more than what I should. So with this film, it's about a person who was killed at that house. The family knows that they're going to a house where someone has been murdered at. At least that was my understanding of the film. And that's why I thought it was kind of fishy, because first of all, why would you move into a house where someone's been murdered? Like, that in and of itself is like an omen, like going somewhere where someone has been killed doesn't really bring the best vibes, especially for home ownership. And if you've seen the house in the movie, you would be like, these people clearly have enough money to live anywhere else. They still stay at the house, obviously. So it's like, they're just like trying to deal with the problem because they're not really sure what else to do besides having an expert look at the house, which also reminds me of Insidious, when there was like the elderly woman who was like inspecting the house for like ghosts and any kind of energy or spiritual presence. And that there's a lot of those aspects in this film, but it's not exactly the same. It's just slightly different. And yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people would agree that the father was like one of the most interesting characters, because it felt like he had a story to tell about his mother, who was very religious, and that didn't really go anywhere. so it could have been edited out, but it felt like his character just had more that needed to be there in the film to really make this film really be better than it was. Because if I'm gonna be honest, this film like had great potential, and don't get me wrong, like you still see some of it, so it wasn't by any means a terrible movie. It was just a movie that lacked some more like spectacle, or story development was in, like the characters. Because for the most part, I feel like the daughter in the film, like, she was a believable character. Her brother, he kind of felt like a caricature douchebag, so I don't know. Like, he just for sure wasn't really a likable character. Besides him trying to defend his sister, which is obviously honorable, but again, it just felt like it was too little too late, because it was literally like a few seconds where we see him like redeeming himself as a character, and then we don't get much of him anymore. So yeah, this film, it had some potential, like it does get you like hooked to see what's gonna happen, like how are they gonna unfold this film as it keeps going. Because it's easy to judge films really harshly just because of similar things you've seen in other movies, for sure. Like, it's not something that's groundbreakingly different than anything you've ever seen, but it does it's storytelling differently in the lens of like this family and its unique problem between the people. And for me, it's like the dad. He doesn't really want to be in a family where he feels like he's miserable, and he's really trying to prove himself that he belongs in that family, and he has a part in like helping being was like the mother, and like like his romantic partner, of course, and the kids who need his guidance, his protection. So his character, I think, as a dad is like it's good. It might need a little work, but it was solid for sure. So I don't know. It's really difficult to rate this film. And I've definitely seen things that were more like horror, not just like, just dabbling a bit in it. So for that reason, I'm giving a very modest 6.9 out of 10. Like, this film is borderline 7 out of 10, but I can't justify a passing score into the 70s, because it's like it's trying to be a horror film, but it's not. It's being more like a drama film, which it should have been. If it's just like gonna focus more on the drama, like that could have been an interesting drama film on its own without any ghost stories, and that would have been it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give this a 6.9 out of 10, only because it's not like the horror aspect wasn't really welcomed. Like, it had great potential, but it didn't use its potential, you know what I mean? Like, it's like having an amazing idea but not delivering on it, It's like having an amazing looking car but no engine. Like, where do you expect to go? um I don't know. It's a thing where it's like you need to have something to really show for if you're going for horror, and the same thing for drama. Like you have to have a good story within the drama, so it's like relatable, or at least makes you want to keep watching. And the drama does make you want to keep watching, but the horror just kind of feels like this wasn't in the wheelhouse for the story writer or the director. And like I said, not a terrible movie. I just think that it didn't deliver as good as it should have to really gain a lot of attention that it could have potentially have gotten. So that's all I got for this review. Let me know what you think of Presence, if you've seen the film, or if you plan on watching it. You know, I think it was entertaining. If you're into like that sort of family dynamic type of film, even with like the unique side of like being an interracial family, you know, this could be the film for you. So I think it's still somewhat interesting to have watched this film, and I would still recommend it to some people who just, you know, like don't really know what to watch and just want to like experiment. So yeah, that's all I got for this video. And if you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.